Where Blaine is standing by. Blaine?
Thanks, Desiree. Well, remember when you came to us yesterday, we're live from the floor of the NROC, the National Results Operations Center. You did point out that it was pretty empty, but it's, as you can see, it's filling up. This is where the hardworking IEC officials are busy at work. Hello, how are you doing? So, pretty much people are in high spirits, gearing themselves up for the main day when the majority of South Africans head to the polls May 8th. Remember, there's special votes from yesterday and today ending at about 5 p.m. So we're told over 700,000 people were granted permission to cast their special votes, and 58% of those were home visits and about 41% were actually at the voting station. So this is the heart of where all things are happening. The IEC will be monitoring their various activities around the country through this central point, the National Results Operations Center. Now, as we've been saying that we have reporters fanned out across the country to monitor special votes today. One of them is Sbongakonke Mbatha, live for us in Durban. Sbonga, a very good morning to you. What's happening on your side?
It's a relatively very humid morning from the side, Blaine. I can tell you we're coming outside Everest Heights Primary School, which is one of 25 voting stations at Verulam, which is north of Durban. We do understand that Verulam overall has over 5,000 people registered for voting today, yesterday, as well as tomorrow. But just to get a view and a feel as to how special voting has been from yesterday in this part of the city, as well as today has been fairly quiet. But as we get in one of the rooms where the special votes are actually underway, even though it's relatively quiet. But I do have with me the IEC presiding officer, Baba Uzaba Ngema, who's going to give us details as to how the morning has been, even though it's been relatively quiet. But in terms of numbers, what are they sitting at? Are they reaching the targets of the people who were registered for special votes? A very good morning to you, Baba.
Good morning, how are you?
We're good. Just take us through from yesterday how the entire day was. We do understand that for some voting stations it was also fairly quiet, and there were concerns for some because some received stationary ballots. How was everything this side, and how has this morning been?
Yesterday went well. We managed to achieve 50%, more or less 50% in terms of the voter turnout. Today it's very quiet. We've only received one voter so far. Judging from what happened yesterday, one will then anticipate that around about 3, because that's what happened yesterday, we got most of our voters towards the closing time, and we hope that the same trend will continue today.
So, like you're mentioning that it seems like the numbers only start trickling in around 3 o'clock afternoon, considering that you close at 5. So most people arrive closer to the closing time. And just take us through the number of people overall that have registered for special votes in this particular voting station.
27 approved special voters in this voting station. We're sitting at 13, which we're still waiting for 14 to turn up. So one hopes that the figures will start trickling in this afternoon.
And of course, tomorrow is the day for the general polls. There's going to be a lot of activity in almost every voting station. What are the numbers that you're expecting in this particular one?
Well, in terms of the numbers, it's 5,278 to be precise. And from the history of this station, the turnout is always good. So one expect that it's going to be a hype of activity today. And we'll kindly take this opportunity to encourage voters as well to come in early so that we avoid a situation where we get a lot of our voters late and, people start complaining about being left out.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
It has been.
That was, of course, presiding officer of the IEC, Babu Zaba Ngema, taking us through the special voting from yesterday as well as today and what they're anticipating tomorrow. The voters have a very long list of options to choose from in terms of vote, preferring the government that they want to see and the change that they want to see in the country. It's back to studio for now.
Sbongakonke Mbatha live for us in Durban. Thank you very much indeed. Stand by. We'll try to catch up with you a little later on the floor of the ROC, the Results Operations Centre. So let's just give you a bit of setup here. This is where the IEC officials are based, in the middle of this hall. And if we swing around and do a quick 360, Tokozani, I know you can do this. We'll go and show you the big screen. Now, this is where all the results are going to come through after voting is closed. Remember, we are working very closely with the CSRI, and they tell us that the predictions, some of the predictions, the first predictions, will come through on Thursday morning around 4 or 5 o'clock. So they're working very closely with the SABC. So keep it locked onto SABC News. You'll get the results right here first. So now let's go crisscross the country, but let's stay here in the capital. That's where we find our reporter.